we're back on Sports Talk Weekly, and we're with Brian McKenna of KFNS, Inside the Blues, formerly KASP, formerly Jock Talk, formerly Mrs. McKenna's Womb.
Hey, you leave my mom out of it.
No, they're laughing. All right, we got a good crew going.
A live audience, about 6 people, but of course the Blues did the math. 18,700 here today. Okay?
But Brian has brushes with greatness, brushes with fame. I understand you and Leah Thompson are tight.
I knew you were going to bring this up. It was nothing. Go ahead and explain, Brad. I'm not going to explain.
Well, I want you to tell us because Brian...
movie star.
Yeah.
He's a movie star now, ladies and gentlemen.
Brian's hanging out now downtown, and they say...
I've been doing that for years.
And they say, Brian, we're doing a movie here in St. Louis. We want you to be in it. So Brian is now in a movie, a top-flight movie with Leah Thompson, who is here at the ballpark tonight. I understand you exchanged pleasantries with her.
I talked to her for a little bit. Leah's a very nice woman, and no, it's no big deal. I'm an extra in the movie. I'm an ad executive. I don't have any speaking lines, but I was in about 5 or 6 scenes. So there you have it. And I don't want you to think it's gone to my head or anything, but, you know, it was an experience I'll never forget. You know, Leah and I are tight. We're tight.
You know, you got your start here at Double Helix, so it's got to be very emotional.
My old stomping grounds. I started my broadcasting career right here at Double Helix, doing Jock Talk in this very studio.
When I hated you.
Yeah. What was that all about?
I don't know, Brian. I turned on the TV and I said, what's he doing? Because I didn't even know you had a show until Larry Hart brought it up to me. So then I just wanted to cream you.
And then Brad started writing letters to the Riverfront Times, ripping me.
My brother did.
That's true.
And I threw in a bad little comment. But now we're
I was unaware of this whole sordid past between the two.
We've had our feud, but
I think you had the feud.
I know, and Brian didn't even care. Brian.
No, I did.
Well, but 2 of my favorite people in the business are here. Brian McKenna. No, it's Skyan Brian McKenna of Fox News.
Used to be.
So what, the nickname's
Kind
gone?
of getting rid of that now.
The artist formerly known as Skyan Brian is
that
here.
was pre-puberty.
How'd that Skyan nickname come about?
It was a charity basketball game. Ramsey was our man that day, and he had to do the PA, and he had to come up with nicknames. And I dunked one during warm-ups, and Ramsey just said Skyan Brian McKenna. And do we have to talk about that anymore?
Brian, I'm trying to anger the guest once again, as I like to do. Brian hates that name, so we won't. That'll be the last time. Maybe,
Thank you.
Maybe Dan will want to call you.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Let's start, first of all, I want to get...
See, I'm the straight-laced guy of this program.
Yeah.
Skyan, the artist formerly known as, is the guy that, you know, he stirs it up. I don't do that kind of thing.
I mean, you were caffing us for a while. What happened over there? I mean, a lot of things went down. I wonder what happened.
Without getting into specifics, it's real simple. They gave me a raise and a promotion in January. Got rid of Rich Gould, big mistake. Gave me a raise, a promotion, moved me to drive time in the morning with Jay Randolph Jr., and they said, Brian, you have one objective. Get the ratings up. In April, the ratings came out, the highest ratings in 2 years, and they let me go. Woo!
How about that?
Never missed a day of work, but, you know, that's water under the bridge. That will change, though, in January. Greg Marisek's taking over. He'll do an outstanding job, and he'll get rid of the dead weight. And there is a lot of dead weight over there right now.
Wow. How about that?
Woo!
Bombshells being dropped on Sports
Brad, it's the
Talk
first time
Weekly.
I've ever talked about that publicly.
How about that? We get him, and pretty soon he'll be crying here. Right here.
And look who's coming here right now. It's Frank Cusimano of News Channel. Frank, step on in, Frank.
I thought the Three Stooges were not Sports Talk Weekly.
Come on in,
It's an honor to be here, and I'd like to say hi to my...
Have a seat. I'll take a back seat.
Okay, hold on 1 second. This is live television. Not really, it's tape, but we'll edit it later.
It's tape. So
I just want to be on camera with Frank Cusimano.
scoot on in, Frank, because obviously our camera guy is sick and can't make it today. Over there we got Randy Carricker.
Come on
over.
We want to ask Randy that question.
Randy Carricker is going to be making his way over. We're going to hear from some fans here in a minute, but pull up a chair. Randy Carricker, KMOX is here for the big man. Randy, how are you? Yeah.
Good to be with you.
Randy's another one of our favorite guests, having a sip of martini there. Diet Coke. Did you hear a question? Okay. I think you guys talked a little bit about Sports Plus, so we kind of stole it and decided.
Regurgitating.
But we decided we're going to talk to the fans about it, see what they had to say. But Maguire, what do you think? If he's at the record, do you rather see that than see the Cardinals go into the pennant stretch and go into the World Series? What's your opinion?
Yeah, if I have a choice of one or the other, I would rather see Maguire break the record.
I'm ticked off when I go to a game, I cover the game, I ask intelligent questions, and then you have a guy like Maguire acting like a jerk. Don't blame me because Biff over here doesn't know what he's talking about, you know?
Or Martin Kilcoyne.
Martin right over there, yeah.
That's the guy who gets Maguire usually the most angry.
No, Martin does a pretty good job. Come on, let's face it, guys. He asks tough
He
questions.
should get a cameo. If he wanted, he could walk over and say hello, but he's just going to sit over in the corner like...
Yeah, he doesn't.
There we go.
He doesn't want to be affiliated with any Mark Maguire bashing.
All right. Martin's hanging until the next... They're working on the pregame show right now.
Hi, Brian. Good to see you.
Cool, good to see you.
Brian McKenna's your name.
I miss you.
These
I've seen him
guys
before.
had the best radio show in radio history. I said it, and what the hell happened?
Well, we don't work together anymore. They moved Brian in the morning because Brian complained about working with Big. He complained a little bit about the hours, complained about the structure of the show. He was working a little too hard. So I said, maybe we should just go to the morning so I can get up at 3:30 and go to work. Is that how it went
That's
down?
the truth. That's exactly how it went. I noticed Chris is dressed like Kevin Costner on Tin Cup.
He's got to tuck in the vest, though.
I knew
we'd be golfing.
Brad's dressed, I guess you could say that's a Costas type
No.
uniform.
Well, with Bob Costas, usually the coat matches the pants.
Sometimes we like to get the opinions of our guest. This whole Monica Lewinsky thing, I know you've got to have some things on this, like, right? Monica Lewinsky, what about that hair?
What about
Let me
his
just
hair?
say this. Let me just say this. If I'm the president, I can do better than Monica Lewinsky, okay? And I'll leave it at that.
She is, yeah, you'd think that, I mean, you got the big White House there.
You're the leader of the free world. Come on.
Come on.
You got the Oval Office. Bring a beautiful woman in, I think.
Well, you know, last week they were talking about the scouting combine. They were talking, I flipped on the radio, I heard the scouting combine. Bunch of college prospects. You check them from head to toe, and you pick the one you think is fastest. And I thought, boy, that Bill Clinton just doesn't quit, does he?